Good morning, Year 5. Welcome to your Monday maths lesson. Today we're going to do the other half of our worksheet from Friday. So you'll do the second half of your worksheet today. You should have it in front of you. And we are comparing and ordering fractions greater than 1. So we're doing questions 5 to 8. Put today's date, learning objective and your flashback 4 in your book. Pause the video, and when you've completed it, come back to me. Let's have a look at your answers to your flashback 4. Which is greater? It's going to be 5/8 because when the denominator is the only thing that's different, the greater the denominator, the smaller the fraction. What comes next? Look for the pattern 1, 3, 5, 7. Work out 22 squared, so you do 22 multiplied by itself, 484. Round this to the nearest hundred, 8,400, because 20 will round down. And the time on the clock is 2:27, and that's 02:27 in 24-hour clock. If it's afternoon, 14:27. Let's move on to today's learning. So we are continuing to look at ordering fractions and comparing them when they are greater than 1. Let's get ready with our skills. Look for the links. Number 1, where can you link? Yeah, you can multiply 6 by something to get 36. You'd multiply it by 6. So therefore, 11 times 6 is 66. On the next one, we need a common denominator. We can see we could change this one. We can double it. So therefore, we double the top, which makes 50/20ths compared to 29/20ths. The denominator is the same, so we'll look at the numerator. The greater the numerator, so it must be this side that's smaller, because 29 is smaller than 50. Here, we need to make a fraction that is larger than 2 whole ones. 11/11ths would be 1 whole one. So 2 whole ones would be 22/11ths. So our number has to be greater than that. For example, 23 or 24 or any number larger than that. Any number that or integer that's greater than 22 can go in there. And on the last one, we can see that we could make the numerator the same on this one. We could double that and double this to get 16/12ths. When the numerator is the same, we look for the larger the denominator means we've split the whole one into more pieces. Therefore, this is smaller. So this is smaller than 8/6. We're going to use all these skills today. Get ready. If you need to go back over them, pause and go back over them. Otherwise, let's get started. Let's learn. Order these fractions in ascending order. Means start small, get big. Have a look. Can you find either a common numerator or a common denominator? Well, if we look across the bottom, there are not numbers that they have in common. Whereas, if we look across the top, we can see they will all go into 20. So therefore, we can make a common numerator here of 20. This one already has 20. So this one, to change from 2 to 20, have a think, we times by 10. Do the same to the denominator, 20/30ths. Here, we'd multiply 4 by 5 to get to 20. So we multiply 9 by 5 to get to 45. What would we multiply 5 by to get to 20? That's 4. Therefore, we multiply the denominator by 4 and we get 8. And this already has a numerator of 20. So when the numerators are the same, remember our rule from last week? The numerators are all 20. Therefore, the greater the denominator, the smaller the fraction. That's because the whole one is being cut up into more tiny pieces. So which one's the greatest? This one, 45, is the greatest. So this must be the smallest. Original fraction goes back to there. Let's have a look at the rest of them. Cross it out. We've got 38 and 17. So 30 next. So we write the 2/3 in. Then it's between these two. 17 next. And then this one, which is correct. Excellent work. Well done. Let's have a look at this one. Pause the video and have a think. Try it by yourself, then come back to me. Okay, so as you can see with the denominators, they don't have anything in common. Let's have a look at the top. 1, 5, 30 and 60. Now remember, you don't always have to multiply. You can divide and bring some of those bigger fractions down to one of the smaller ones if you need to. It's called simplifying. So you don't have to multiply, you could divide. You should see that we could take this one, and if we halved it, we'd get 30. So if we halve the bottom, we get 16. So it's 30 sixteenths. This is 30 19ths. What would we do to 5 to make to 30? Oh, we'll go for this one. 1 times 30 is 30. 2 times 30 is 60. And then this one. 5 times 6 is 30. And 4 times 6 is 24. Now, when the numerators are the same, 30, 30, 30, 30, the greater the denominator, the smaller the fraction. So which one has got the greatest denominator? But let's check. It's asking us to order them in descending order. So we've got to switch the order around and begin with the largest one. So in that case, we want the largest fraction first. So we want the smallest denominator. And it looks like this is the smallest denominator, which belongs to this one. Well done. Next, 60 over 32. 5/4. And lastly, 1/2. Well done. This time we're going to switch back and we're ordering in ascending order. Start small, get bigger. Have a look. These numerators not helping us really, are they? Let's switch and look at these ones. Now if I look at these, I can see 3, 12 and 6 all could have the common denominator because 3 goes into 12, 12 goes into 12 and 6 goes into 12. 5 doesn't, but I'm not going to worry about that one for now, because if I look at it, let's switch the ones and make these into 12ths first. So remember, we're doing the denominator this time, so it's 3 multiplied by 4 to make 12. So I do the same to the numerator, 16 12ths. This one's already 12ths. This one, 6 times what is 12? 2. So I do the same to the denominator, 20. So now I have 3 that are 12ths. Let's have a look then at this one. Think why I don't need to worry about this one. If you have a look at this one, how many 5s would go into 11? Well, we can see that double 5 would be 10. And this is more than that, isn't it? So 10/5 would be equal to 2 whole ones. So then 11/5 must be greater than 2 whole ones. None of the others are double their denominator, so this one must be the greatest one. The other ones are all less than 2. So this one here can go here because it's the largest one. It's worth more than 2 whole ones. That leaves us with the rest to look at. 16 12ths, 19 12ths, 20 12ths. Which one is the smallest? 16 12ths. So 4/3 comes down. We always write the original fraction. What's next, 19 or 20? That's nice and easy, 19's next. So we record that. And then lastly, the 20 12ths, but we put the original fraction in, 10/6. Well done. Let's try these fractions in ascending order, getting bigger. Have a think, pause the video, have a go, and then we'll do it together. Let's see how you did. Ordering these fractions. First of all, we can see that we could change this to 40ths. This is already 40ths. This could change to 40ths by doubling. And then this one can't change to 40ths. But if you look at it, it's the only one where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So this is a proper fraction. It's the only one that is less than a whole one. So that must go in there. Then we'd have the 44 40ths, then the 50 40ths relates to that one, and then the 56 40ths relates to this one. Let's have a look at this question. 5 7ths, 15 somethings, and 15 9ths. We could times that by 3 to get to 15 21sts, and this has to be less than this one. That's 15 9ths. So the number here can be between 10 and what's less than that? 20. So that number could be 11, 10, 11, all the way up to 20. Well done if you spotted that. Let's have a go at this one. You'll notice all of these are multiples of 7, so we could convert them into 28, so they're all the same. Timesing by 4, that's already 28ths, and that will become 28ths by doubling, so we have to do halving to get back to the answer. So 2 28ths is less than this one, which is less than 12. So it's got to be between 2 and 12 on the 28ths. So it's any integer between 3 and 11. But can it be? It must be a number that will divide by 2 to go back to the top. So it must be an even integer, not a 7, not a 9, not a 5. It must be even because it has to divide by 2 equally. For example, 6. It could be 4, it could be 6. We divide it by the 2, and that is 3. Let's have a look at this one. To tackle this one, you have to think, that's 21sts, that's 21sts. We could change that to 21sts. What would half of 21 be? 10.5. Well, it's got to be more than that. So this could be 11, but it's got to be less than 18. So anything from 11 up to 16. Or 17. Let's have a go at this question. Rosie and Jack each have 3 identical chew bars. Jack divides each of his bars into 4 equal pieces and eats 5 of them. Rosie divides her bars into 2 equal pieces and eats 5 pieces. Jack says we've both eaten the same amount because we've both eaten 5 pieces. Explain why he's not correct. Have a think. Look at his chews. We're splitting them into 4s. Look at her chews. Splitting them into 2s, into halves. So she's got 6 halves and he's got 12 quarters. He eats 5 pieces and he's got 7 quarters remaining. She eats 5 pieces, so she's got 1/2 remaining. You can see from the picture that he has a lot more. He's got 1 whole bar and 3 quarters left, whereas she's only got 1/2 a bar. So therefore, he's got more. Your turn, please, to have a go at questions 5 to 8 on the worksheet. I'd like you to lay it out, please, like this in your book, not on the sheet. There's number 5 done for you, the first bit, have a go. Red level challenge. I've shown you each of the challenges that's in your pack, stick them neatly in your book, and then show you're working out an explanation at the side. Here are your sentence stems to help you record your answers in your book. You must provide your evidence on each one. Good luck and see you tomorrow.